Hi everybody, I'm Captain Floofers.
And I'm Soylent Greg.
Welcome back to Cuphead. We're finally back with Cuphead now.
We are back with Cuphead.
When we left off, I think I defeated all of the bosses on the first area. Um, so we should be okay to go through here.
I remember you fought the witch, the big moon witch. I think that was the last boss you fought. Ah,
I think,
yes, the die house.
I think the last one we
That
fought
was
was the
certainly
flower
that was
guy.
certainly my house a week and a half ago. I felt like I was going to die. I will say straight up, I have been very sick. I am still somewhat sick, but um, I will try if I have any coughing fits to mute them. Um, because I am recovering from pneumonia, which is super
Hooray!
unfun. You may also see me pop some of these cough drops in my mouth. That is why I'm doing
He's
that.
popping drugs.
That's right.
Literally.
No, I took the drugs beforehand.
Drugs.
Drugs are bad, okay? Unless a
Unless,
doctor prescribes
unless
them
the
for
doctor
you.
prescribes them, then they're okay.
Unless a
Hot
doctor
dog.
looks at x-rays of your lungs and is like, holy shit, you need to take these pills. Speaking of which...
I don't remember this cutscene before.
There we go. Hopefully that got muted in time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
no,
notice
we got a
anything, so.
cutscene. The Elder Kettle telling us to go to the next world, which looks like a carnival.
I remember when I played this before, I cleared this one, and I cleared one that was like bumper cars or something like that. But I don't believe
The bumper cars one is really fun.
I don't believe I've cleared all of these before. But we'll see how we do. I'm gonna start with this one, I suppose.
Oh, Baroness von Bonbon, cool. Yeah, this the art style. Every time we play this game, I'm just filled with so much joy. I really do need to. Once I get finished with what I'm currently doing, game-wise, I need to go back and beat the Cuphead DLC. I really
Yeah,
do
I do have the
need to do that.
DLC unlocked, or I say unlocked, purchased. I unlocked it with money. That's how I got it.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
do have the DLC installed. Yeah.
it's kind of embarrassing that my 12-year-old has beaten the Cuphead DLC and I have not.
Why I'm sure he's
Also,
very good at this game.
also he
Played
beat
it a
this
lot.
game when he was like, when did this game come out?
Um, a while back, I think.
It wasn't that. I want to say he beat it. I don't know if he was 10 or 11 when he beat it. Probably 11.
I think it was. I don't remember it's further back than that, wasn't it? How old is he now? 12?
He's 12 right now. Yes. He turned 12 in June.
I think this was. I think this was out a while before that. I remember when you.
It was very cute because he had a very stereotypical gamer reaction to Cuphead. Every single boss getting angry, yelling about how unfair it was, and then gradually getting better and better at
Oh,
it
this is different.
until... Oh yeah, Bonbon is one of those where this one has like random
Okay.
things that come out. I think there's 4 in total that it switches between until you hit like a certain point when it goes into its... God, it's been so long since I played this game. I want to say it does this until its final form, which I won't spoil for you. But the little
I'm still
pink
derusting.
jelly bean guys with the sword, you can jump on them for a parry. Yeah, no, I completely understand it. You need
This
to
guy's
derust.
waffles.
Oh, Waffle Man. Oh my God, Waffle Man is adorable. I love him.
Yeah,
I've only just met Waffle Man, and I will defend him with my life. Get it?
I did a couple of like practice fights against the vegetable guys for a few minutes before we started. So
Yeah,
I'm
I was
still
confused when I first joined you on the Discord call because you were already in the middle of fighting the Cuphead boss. I'm like, did I miss the stream?
no,
I missed the video.
no. I'm just trying to get back into it because it's been like months since we've played it.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, this was if I don't know if this was the worst Christmas of my life. It was certainly the worst Christmas of my adult life. Um, I
um,
told everyone, I told my wife and son to go without me. Um, so I sat in bed with a 102-degree fever hacking my lungs up, um,
yeah.
while they went out and visited, the families and everything on Christmas. Uh, it sucked bad, but I'm getting there. I'm doing better now.
That's good.
Um, I
Like,
finished my antibiotics yesterday. The only thing I've still got this cough, and I've read about it. You can have the cough for like months afterward, which sucks. But
is
if that's all I end up with this, then I consider myself lucky because I don't normally ever get seriously sick, and I legitimately was afraid that I was going to end up in the hospital on Christmas and ruin Christmas for my kid and my family.
it, I last I talked to you, your son may have gotten it too. Is he okay?
He's absolutely fine. He had a fever for a couple of days. We're not
Uh,
100% sure of the timeline. What we know is that my son had the flu. He was diagnosed with the flu. He got tested. I never
okay.
popped for the flu or for COVID. What we think happened is because I got bacterial pneumonia, like walking pneumonia or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
What we think happened is he got the flu. He was sick for like 2 weeks. And at some point during that, he got bacterial pneumonia or whatever in his lungs. And he coughed it up. And I got it in me. And then I got sick with it. Um, that's what we think happened. That's the doctor said that's what it is. I know Cooper was diagnosed with the flu. I never. Um, I took like 6 flu tests and COVID tests while I was sick and never popped positive for either of them. So unless it's some weird strain of COVID or maybe I have the bird flu, I don't know. It would be ironic because I went as the bird flu
Flew for
for
Halloween one
Halloween
year.
once,
Yeah.
like 15 fucking years ago. Uh, but no, I have infection in my lungs, which is still messing with me, but I'm working on it. Like I'm one of these weirdos who like never gets seriously sick. Even when I had COVID, I was sick for like 3 days. So to be completely on my ass for like a week and a half was really frightening.
Yeah, it doesn't happen for me very often either. I got like I think the worst I got was like I had the flu like early last year. Like I didn't have COVID or anything,
Mhm.
but I had the flu for like a week, or like I don't know, like 2 weeks I think. And like one of those weeks I was on vacation, not like out
Oof,
of the house vacation, but like I was like
out of
I'd
work.
scheduled off work, and then I got sick, and I'm like, well, now I'm spending my entire staycation sick. That's not great.
Sucks. Yeah. Um, Being sick on a holiday sucks. I can't imagine how bad being sick on your entire vacation
Yeah.
sucks.
Well,
So
at
it
least,
seems like you're starting to get the hang of these guys.
yeah. Well, I'm,
Waffle Guy's pretty easy, I think.
yeah. I don't think he's giving me any trouble. That,
Oh, I say that, and then
well, no, that was on me.
you got Jemima'd.
No, we don't call it that anymore.
My bad. Sorry, my apologies.
You got whatever they call it now. I forget what they call it now.
What do they call it now?
Like it's like Pearl Creek Mill or something like that. I think that's what they changed the branding to. Like it was like what the brand was called before they called it Aunt Jemima. and then they changed it back to that because
They should have just called it not racist. And just big letters on the front, not racist maple syrup. I think people would have gone for that. I think because you don't want people to think you're a racist, so you buy the maple syrup that says not racist on it. It's kind of like the old SNL sketch with the
that's not yogurt.
the penis cream, where with Steve Martin, where it comes in a big box to your house that says not penis cream on it.
Okay.
So
I don't think I've seen that one.
So everyone knows it's not penis cream.
I don't think I saw that one. I remember, like, that's not yogurt came to mind.
That's better. I don't think I've seen that's not yogurt.
It looked like yogurt, but like the commercial just saying that telling the people that it wasn't yogurt, but like it wouldn't say what it was or what was in it. Like like the wife says at one point, well, we really need to know what's in this because my husband has food allergies, and all the announcer would say is that's not yogurt.
It's not yogurt. Well, it's if he's allergic to yogurt, don't worry. It's not yogurt.
The ingredients said not yogurt on the carton.
Oh, that's awesome.
Near the end, he's like, okay, it's yogurt, and then they're just like, oh, okay, good, and then they start eating. It's like that's not yogurt.
Just kidding. That's not yogurt. I actually think the part about saying it is yogurt and then taking it back has like jogged my memory.
That was one of the ones that I saw a lot when Comedy Central, during that time period where I think it was Comedy Central played nothing but SNL reruns.
Oh yeah, damn! You just crushed that gumball machine guy, by the way. That was fantastic. I always knew candy corn was actually trying to like get me. One of the worst types of candy, in my opinion.
I'm always reminded of that fucking Lewis Black bit about the candy corn.
Candy that's shaped like corn. Son of a bitch. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, Waffle Guy's easy.
Yeah, just stay away from him when he goes all squares. I forget what that's called, but the weapon you've got there, the triple shot. Is that what it's called?
I don't remember.
That's a good one.
All I remember was that I equipped it last time.
That is definitely one of the staple weapons I remember using in this game.
Okay, when he's exploding,
apparently. Yeah, apparently once he's exploded, he no longer has a hitbox, so that's good.
Okay, the cupcake is the hardest one.
It's because he also starts with cup, so he has a personal vendetta against you. And if you spell cup, it's C-U-P.
Right.
And he wants to C-U-P.
Yeah. I don't think he wants that.
They actually cut the piss-related boss from Cuphead. He had the golden forest in the background.
Is it the piss wizard?
No, he was actually the wizard. It was
the wizard. Remember when we came up with the piss wizard? It was I think it was during the fucking it was the Ocarina of Time randomizer, and you had to solve his piddle riddles or something.
I do remember that.
You're in for a hard time.
That time the laughing set it off.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's good. Please continue making me laugh. What does your shirt say? So it was...
So it was all your work. It's the dog ending from Silent Hill 2.
Dog. Yes.
Okay, the Jawbreaker guy's an asshole.
Yeah, Jawbreaker guy sucks. Why have you not gone out and purchased Silent Hill 2 remake?
Because I didn't feel like it.
But don't you know that gaming is in deep trouble and requires your dollars to
good
stay afloat?
Good. I don't fucking care.
You have to purchase these $70 remakes. If you purchase the Yakuza games for $15 on the Switch, then these multi-million-dollar video game companies, they'll run out of cocaine money.
I didn't purchase all of the Yakuza games on the Switch for $15. I purchased them for not on the Switch. On Steam, yeah, for like $15 each.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's only one Yakuza game on the Switch.
That one's only $20
so far.
Which is actually $20 is a really good price for it.
Yeah, that's an okay price for it. Okay, so we just need to get Gumball Machine.
Not Cupcake.
No, not Cupcake. Gumball Machine, Candy Corn.
Candy Corn sucks too. Like Waffle and Gumball Machine are
Waffle, yeah, Waffle's the one we want. Oh, he jumped right at you.
I guess I only have to fight 3 of them, it seems. They just pick 3 at random from like the 5 or whatever.
Oh my god, you guys, it's Pac-Man.
It's a reference! Laugh, damn it!
It's actually a giant member berry. I find that this game is actually pretty clever and good with its references.
Yeah.
So I don't mind.
Oh, they're good. Gumball Machine's fine. He said.
See, the wizard, when you die to him, it's his grinning face, and it's like, your shot's all missed, now you rest in piss. Then later on, it's like time for you to get flushed. You're in a bad spot now.
You're in a... Okay, got Candy Corn.
Okay, Candy Corn's dead.
Oh, crap, this is Jawbreaker. I was able to get Jawbreaker in a rhythm last time.
I feel like the shot that goes backwards would work really well against Jawbreaker.
Yeah. I think what I should do...
The lobber, I think it's called.
Hold on, let me go back to the store. Because I'm not using the basic shot anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll just have like a... I don't know if I already actually may have bought the backward shot as well. But like, I'll keep the three-way, the spread.
Right. Okay, that's what it's called. Oh yeah, you do have it roundabout.
Okay. And then shot B can be roundabout.
Makes sense. I could be missing it, but you also don't forget that you have a dash. I don't think I've been seeing you dash.
I keep
yeah.
Again, it's been such a long time. I keep forgetting I have a dash.
No, absolutely. I just feel like the dash could help a lot with the constant with the Jawbreaker guy. That jawbreaker fella. Yeah, that seems like it works well.
Oh, wow, that does a lot of damage, actually. Or it might be just because I was hitting him more often.
Yeah, being between him and the blue one is not where you want to be. Damn, that does a shitload of damage. You killed him quick, yeah. That's definitely the one you want to use against Jawbreaker guy.
Okay, Waffle I can do the spread shot with. Because Waffle's just easy to...
Oh, look out.
Oh, she's doing stuff too.
We got a new wrinkle. She's got a gun.
Well, I think some of the shots she's shooting are pink, so I can parry off of them. If I don't do that. But like...
Okay, nice. You almost made it to the last phase.
Okay, starting off with Waffles.
No, I was just cackling because, like, how many video game bosses is it just like, okay, now the boss pulls out a gun.
Lots of them, actually.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Not so much Cuphead.
Alright, who's next?
Have you watched the cartoon at all?
No, I have not.
My son has watched the cartoon, and I have watched a little bit of the cartoon with him. It seems pleasant, you know. It seems pretty faithful to the source material, which it's kind of sad that I have to say that as a plus. But there's so many fucking things that aren't.
Yeah. I've got a lot of stuff that I found out is mostly on Netflix now that I want to watch. Like the newest Godzilla movie is out on Netflix now.
Minus one.
Well, minus one
is a newer one that I'm not aware of.
Minus one is on there, but the newer American Godzilla movie is on Netflix now. Godzilla Cross Kong or Godzilla X Kong or whatever.
Did you ever watch Alien Romulus?
I have not watched that yet.
Okay.
I do need to. I say need. I don't need to watch a movie. But I do want to watch that at some point.
I'm curious if you will dislike it as much as I disliked it. I have a feeling that you're gonna like it more than I did. Like the things that bother me about it are not gonna bother you to the same extent, but maybe.
I mean, it was that way with the second Independence Day movie.
Yeah, I was not a fan of the second Independence Day movie.
I mean, I thought it was stupid, but I had fun watching it.
It felt very, I probably shouldn't say that. It felt very Chinese. Like it was clearly made for the Chinese market.
Oh, okay.
It was, I mean, it was a good time. Wait,
Independence Day or Romulus?
No, Independence Day. None of these criticisms were being leveled at Romulus. Romulus did not feel Chinese at all. It wasn't Blade Runner, my god.
There's also a, there's like a Gundam show on Netflix, like a CGI Gundam show.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Is that supposed to be any good?
I don't know. I'm still gonna see it because I like Universal Century stuff. I actually got one of the models for Christmas. Was from that. And then at some point, like a few weeks back, I think I started watching Evangelion for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
After years of being told, don't watch it, it's bad.
I'm not the one who told you that.
No, you're not the one who told me that, but like other people have told me, don't watch it, it's bad.
I am like,
but I'm
years by like 80 to 90% of anime, but I have watched all of Evangelion. and enjoyed it.
Because, like,
I like it.
I figure I should like it at very least, because I've seen a lot of Hideaki Anno's other stuff. I like Gunbuster, I like Shin Godzilla, and I like Shin Kamen Rider, so
I've never seen any of those. My tastes are very basic. Like what anime series has Greg watched to completion? Evangelion, Death Note.
I don't think I'd like Death Note, honestly.
I have not watched Attack on Titan to completion, but I've watched the first couple seasons of Attack on Titan.
I'm not really interested in Attack on Titan either.
And that's pretty much it, other than like things other people have like in the past sat me down and made me watch. And the shit that we watched as kids, obviously, the Dragon Ball Z and the Gundam Wing.
Yeah. But like I've seen up to episode 9, I think, of Evangelion, and I think it's fine.
Oh, it's good. It's definitely one of those things where you it's one of those things like when you watch an old movie and you see like, oh, like this is where all that came from. Like it doesn't seem you watch it and it might not seem all that original necessarily, but that's because so many things have come out after it that are riffing off of it in some way.
Well, wasn't Evangelion riffing on a lot of like Super Robot anime stuff anyway?
Yeah. Oh, it was very based on like shonen, like robot shit. And yes, you have finally made it to the last phase, by the way. And yeah, you should definitely use the back one for that. Pretty sure you can parry that giant, not the head, but the giant.
Oh yeah, it is pink.
Peppermint wheel. You can parry those. Yeah, that's the last phase. I didn't tell you on purpose, but yeah, the castle comes alive and chases you. It's very cute.
Because like from what I understand, like Evangelion is meant to be like deconstructing a lot of the like the anime tropes and whatnot, which is kind of weird considering like it's a very different direction from Gunbuster, which Hideaki Anno did like in the late 80s, early 90s, which was just straight up over the top like super robot stuff. It was very enjoyable. But it was also he was also depressed or something when he made Evangelion, wasn't he?
Oh,
that's how it always goes.
It's that show is like that show is like 30% robot fights, 20% David Lynch shit.
Yeah.
And 50% being sad. That's Evangelion, pretty much.
Like, it's the same sort of thing with Gundam, which is I don't know if it's really as much of a deconstruction, but it's also more along the lines of we're making a more realistic super robot show because now when the kids are put into the robots, they're not happy and having fun adventures now. They're being
fucking miserable
because the military is forcing them to go to war.
Now see, that wasn't like a like novel thing to me because my favorite book when I was in middle school was Ender's Game, and that's exactly what Ender's Game is. You know,
I haven't read that.
He goes to battle school to save the world from aliens, but you know, he's not happy about it. He's like stressed and miserable. You've never read Ender's Game?
No, I never had a reason to, really.
What the fuck? Oh my god, that's like a foundational text in Soylent Greg's, like, life. I would hesitate to say, I'm not gonna say don't watch the movie, but the movie is, it's fine. If it wasn't an adaptation of Ender's Game, I would probably like it more. But it's not great. It's fine for what it is, though.
But
Yeah,
with
you should definitely read Ender's Game at some point. It's a great book.
we see that the thing with Gundam is that you can, especially with like the first handful of series that were, because the guy who originally created Gundam, Yoshiyuki Tomino, I think his name is. Like you can tell which Gundam series were written when he was very depressed, because they're the ones where everyone dies. Zeta Gundam, everyone dies. Victory Gundam, everyone dies. Hell, even in the first one, like a bunch of there's a bunch of death and stuff. And as much as I love Double Zeta, like the one that came right after Zeta Gundam, it was like a huge like mood whiplash. Because then it goes back to like the kids and the robots having fun adventures. because the network was like, don't kill everyone this time, please.
Please no kill. I will have to try the Netflix Gundam show. I haven't watched a Gundam in many years.
But like I would also recommend, like, I don't know if you've seen any of Anno's other stuff other than Evangelion, but like Shin Godzilla is really good. I like Shin Kamen Rider mainly because I'm a Kamen Rider fan.
Oh yeah. I know that about you.
But
Kamen Rider is Is Kamen Rider the thing that's sort of like Power Rangers?
It's sort of like it's kind of related to Power Rangers or / Super Sentai. It's like a different it's a different
Super
series.
Sentai. That's the thing that I was thinking.
Yeah, Super Sentai is Power Rangers.
Right.
Kamen Rider is a separate but still loosely related TV show made by the same production company.
I remember you showed me the like hyper violent like Japanese Power Rangers back in like college. That was very cool.
I mean, they do show because Shout Factory has a lot of the rights to distribution for those in the U.S. And they have I don't know if you've used Pluto TV before.
I have not. Is it like one of the free ones, like Tubi, or
it's kind of like Tubi,
okay.
where it's free and there's like commercial breaks and stuff.
Does Brave block the commercial breaks like it does with Tubi?
I don't know. I haven't tried. But Shout Factory has a couple of channels on there, and one of them is called
Thought you had it.
What is it called? Toku Shoutzu.
Mm-hmm.
And they show like the Kamen Rider and Ultraman and Super Sentai shows that they have rights to.
Oh, nice! I'll have to check that out.
And I think they also have them on demand.
I was looking at unfortunately I watched a little bit of it and I was not impressed, but apparently, did you know that Amazon has a new Takeshi's Castle?
I heard about that. I haven't
like
watched it.
Yeah, I watched like the first half of the first episode. I wasn't terribly impressed.
Is it just like it's like new episodes of Takeshi's Castle?
Yeah, it's new. It's like
okay.
I think it was made like last year or something,
okay.
And it just came out
and
recently on Amazon.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's just like the same thing, just like people doing stupid shit and like beat Takeshi being like an asshole or something like that.
Well, he wasn't in the first episode at all. I think that was part of the problem for me.
Oh.
There's like a whole like mystery, like where is he?
Every time he's not on the screen, you should be like, "Where's Beat Takeshi?"
He had beat Takeshi had to go back to his home planet.
I'll get this eventually.
Oh yeah, you're getting better at it.
This is the point of the game.
Oh yeah.
It's literally the Dark Souls of run and gun.
I will give a shout out because I bought a game. I know I'm not going to get a chance to play it for a while because for some reason I'm like I'm going to do the Switch for a while, but I bought a couple games in the Steam sale and I bought this video game called Nine Souls. SOLS. It is a 2D Metroidvania made by Red Candle Games, the people who made Detention and Devotion, and it's insane. It's like Hollow Knight and Sekiro had a baby. I got to the first boss. I had like the most wonderful experience. I got to the first real boss. It's this giant horseman with a spear, and he just tears me apart for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, Jesus, God almighty, this game is hard. And I start learning the parry timings, and I finally kill him. And then there's a second fucking phase. And then I realize that there's only like 2 new moves in the second phase. So after doing this for like 45 minutes, I hit this run, and it just clicks with me all of a sudden that I know the timings on every single one of this guy's moves, and nothing he's doing is hurting me. Like, I beat the entire first phase without taking any damage, and I literally said, like, out loud to my Steam Deck as I was playing, like, hey, guess what? You have no power here. You can't hit me. And I just completely no-hit slaughtered this horseman boss. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is peak gaming. I'm all about this. That will probably change when I hit a boss that is hard enough that I can't do that. But I am enjoying Nine Souls. But right now I'm playing Final Fantasy Legend 2 on the Switch.
Oh, nice.
I just got to the third world, which is not as impressive as it sounds. Final Fantasy Legend 1 had like 4 main worlds.
Right.
But there's like 12 in FFL2. Yeah. They're a lot shorter.
I haven't played any of the Saga games all the way through, but I have seen many a playthrough of the Final Fantasy Legend games.
You were in my party.
I am?
Yes. You only got 4 letters, so you're Rado. But you are my human male who specializes in strength weapons. I am the main character, and I am a robot. And holy crap, robots are so good in Final Fantasy Legend 2. The main thing that's hitting me about it is that maybe it's just because I've played Final Fantasy Legend 1 so many times to the point that I've like beaten it with a single character. But this game seems so much easier than the first one that I'm just absolutely crushing it, at least so far.
From what I've been made to understand, like 2 is probably the best of the Game Boy trilogy.
Yeah, that's what I've... Oh, man, that was close. That's what I understand as well, because 3 apparently changes a bunch of stuff. It makes it feel less like a Saga game and more like a regular Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Apparently it was like the third game was directed by like the guy who did Final Fantasy Mystic Quest or something.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't directed by the guy who did the first 2 games. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it so far.
Focusing.
I actually kind of wish I'd made my party 2 robots, a human and a mutant, because the monster seems even worse in this game than they were in the first game. Um, like in Final Fantasy Legend, monster is it can be good, but you basically have to memorize
It's
you
the
basically have to
same
memorize
thing.
the table of meats, and by following like this very specific guide on the meats, you can make a monster that is roughly as good as like one of your good characters.
It's basically the
Um,
same thing, from what I understand. Because the
yeah,
speedrun,
I kind
they
of wish
eat
I
specific things.
and that's actually how I did the beating Final Fantasy Legend with one monster run I did. Is I followed a guide to basically get like a souped up, bit hyper powered, like a third world level monster at like the beginning of the game, and then once I got far enough in the game, I used the chart to turn into a monster that had Saw, because as we all know, Saw is hilariously broken in Final Fantasy Legend.
Yeah.
And once I was the Saw monster, I basically just ran from every battle and just used Saw to murder the bosses. Because
I don't think you can parry those.
monsters can't like gain experience or increase their powers with potions, so there was no point in like doing any fights at that point. It was just a run directly to the bosses and kill them. Ironically, like if you know what you're doing, beating it with one monster is probably easier than beating it with one human or one mutant.
I'm just gonna use this as my main weapon from now on. This is a really good weapon.
It is really good, actually. It goes a decent distance, like forward, so it's not completely useless as a weapon that you shoot in front of you, but it also curves and then hits in the back. Of course, if anybody does try it, the absolute worst thing about doing a single character run in Final Fantasy Legend is that there are monsters that can petrify you, and when you have one character, if you get petrified, it is an immediate game over.
Yeah, that's how it is with a lot
So
of RPGs.
every section of the game, primarily, I want to say one of the sections of the tower, like either between World 2 and 3 or between World 3 and 4, has like a very common monster that does petrification. So you basically have to save every like 5 or 6 steps.
Well, do that anyway, because if you have any freaking mutants in your party, then they lose their ability to cast a lightning spell and they gain a weakness to fire or some shit.
I love what FFL2 does to fix that. In Final Fantasy Legend 2, your mutant has 4 slots for spells and for environmental resistances and things that they pick up. And it will always, when you lose one and gain a new one, it will always replace the bottommost one. So you basically move the good ones to the top and then keep whatever your shittiest spell is at the bottom and hope that it, transforms into something better. It
Yeah.
basically takes all of the risk of like, oh no, I just fought this battle and my mutant lost like their good spell before I go up against the boss. Like that was incredibly frustrating in the first game, and they fixed that in 2. So fear not. I am confused why there's a warning before that game, though. Have you seen this?
No.
It says that they like changed things for like it says like evolving. We changed things in this game for like evolving cultural norms, and I'm like, what the hell is in Final Fantasy Legend that you needed to? What
Legend
is in
2,
these like?
I think I
What
might
is in
have
these
an idea.
25-year-old? What is in these 25-year-old Game Boy games that you needed to? 35-year-old Game Boy games that you needed to
I don't
censor.
I don't know if they changed it. If there was it's a recent change, but in the original international release of Final Fantasy Legend 2, there was a I don't know how much I want to spoil it.
Oh, I don't care. You can spoil it. It's fine.
There's a feudal Japan themed area where in the original version of it, there were problems with an opium ring, and
Oh.
opium is outlawed and stuff. But because they didn't want to say opium in an English Game Boy game, they changed it to bananas. So bananas
Ah.
are illegal in
You
Shogun
know,
Land or
so,
whatever they call it. I don't know if they changed
sometimes
something
you
else, but
sometimes you drive through the bad part of town and you can see someone shooting up a banana right on the street corner,
right in front of the children.
right in front of the children.
I don't know if that's what they're referring to, or if they like more recently changed something to make it more sensitive to someone else.
I don't know, but I definitely the first time I saw that was uh, like I'm not a fan of censoring 30-year-old games. I don't know if anything else was changed in it. Um, I only played a little bit of one. I would obviously notice if anything in one was changed. But I also can't think of anything that they would need to change in the first game. Um, yeah, snooker. How she throws her head at you.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. You got it. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to parry anything.
Hey, you got a B minus. That's fine.
Yeah.
B's get degrees.
So I think the next one is the pyramid. That's one that's in the plane. Actually, let's see what's up
I
here now.
guess.
It's a side-scrolling area. Oh, I've done this one before too.
It's a birdhouse.
I think this one
It's a
also might
birdhouse
be in
in
the
your
plane.
soul. I think this is up the plane. This is
Because the pyramid one is
bird
a
guy.
genie. Is a genie, and
The pyramid is the genie.
and that's
Yes,
also in the plane.
I'm like, how much of this do I say out loud because I don't want to spoil things for you? But yes, the pyramid is the genie. That's a fun one.
B is parry in the plane. I forgot.
A brawl is surely brewing. And begin.
Look how bizarre our channel is. Cuphead, in which we spend most of our time talking about Final Fantasy Legend.
We do this all the time, though.
Yes, but now it's only fair that next we play Final Fantasy Legend and talk about Cuphead the whole time.
We're just gonna talk about the next games that we play
Pretty much.
from here on.
What are you playing other than Cuphead?
Skyrim.
I've seen you. I was gonna say I've seen you playing Skyrim because every time I pick up the Switch and it says that you're online, it's like Skyrim.
And I'm playing Skyrim. I'm also playing. I'm still playing Space Engineers with my brother on Sundays.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen that a couple times on Discord.
We got.
You're in a party playing Space Engineers. I don't know anything about that game.
It's in very basic terms, it's Minecraft in space. But there's a lot more like realism to like the physics and how things are built.
Neat. Uh-oh. Bullet hell.
It's a Toho game now.
This is like baby's first bullet hell pattern.
Baby's first Toho.
Oh yeah, I've told that story, so I think it's okay. I blew my son's mind when I he watched me fight Dr. Call's robot. And the very first time I got to the last phase, where it's the bullet hell, like, all he does is sit there and, like, does the bullet hell pattern, and I got it my first try. He's like, Dad, how did you do that? And I'm like, there's this thing called Imperishable Night. I literally was like, oh, I know this pattern. This is an easy pattern. Ooh.
I haven't played a Toho game in a long time.
Me either. It's really been a while.
I actually have 2 of the games like on CD-ROM. I got them at like Otakon or something like that one year.
That's bad. That is so badass.
I have Phantasmagoria Flower View and I think Mountain of Faith.
I really wish someone would bring those to Steam. I think it's bizarre that there are probably I'm going to say at least 24 Toho fan games on Steam at this point. But there are, like, none of the actual bullet hell shooters.
Well, you're going to have to bring that up with Zoom, and I don't know how willing he is to put those on Steam.
I'd pay $20 each for, like, the old Toho bullet hell shooters. Or at least, like, I would buy them on sale for $10. I feel like I've gotten enough fun out of my pirated copy of Imperishable Night that I would buy a copy of it if it was available on a digital storefront.
Damn it.
Ooh. Yeah, man, that takes me back to, like, old nostalgia. Like, my very first, like, awful compact laptop. I had, like, the Toho shooters and, like, Dance with Intensity.
Oh, God, Dance with Intensity. Oh, no, combo stopped.
Today's kids will never understand, like, going online and to find packs for Dance with Intensity.
I mean, there are, like...
Downloading some guy's, like, random, chart he made of some, like, anime remix.
Yeah. I mean, there are, like...
far to that time.
Yeah. There are similar ones, like Step Revolution. I think Dance with Intensity is like one of the more... I don't know if it was one of the more obscure ones or one of the lesser popular ones or something like that. I just remember that being the one that I played.
Yeah, that was the one I had on my awful laptop. There was a time before Steam when you had to individually install your games. You didn't just have, like, a big list of all the games that you owned.
Got him that time.
Like, you kids with your Baldur's Gate 3, like, I played Baldur's Gate 1. I had to, like, switch the 5 CDs.
We played Baldur's Gate 1, and we played D&D, and that's what Baldur's Gate was D&D, and not...
Basically,
yeah. And not, oh my god, who's your character gonna fuck?
A great slam and then some.
I don't even know if you can... I think Baldur's Gate 3 is so, like, removed from the first 2 games, I don't even think you can upload or import your character.
I don't think you can. That would be kind of insane to be able to do that after, like, you know, at least 25 years, right? Like, they couldn't even get you importing your Mass Effect character into Andromeda, so...
Well, you're playing as a different character, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that was stupid. I don't know why I brought that up.
But you can't import your character from Shenmue 2 to Shenmue 3.
Oh.
because Shenmue. I mean, even with the HD remasters of 1 and 2, like those were like distributed by Sega.
Hmm.
Shenmue 3 was made by EastNet and originally published by Deep Silver. They just had Sega's permission to use the IP because Yu Suzuki originally created Shenmue, and EastNet is his dev studio.
EastNet, the net of the East.
Or like EastNet, like EastNet, the East, YS, EastNet.
Oh, EastNet. Like the mythical island.
Like the mythical island and the
or the video game series.
The Falcom series. With the music that they play at mini golf courses.
At mini golf, yeah. They're actually apparently they're finally bringing Felgana to the Switch. Comes out on like the 5th. I was looking to see if any of the Ys games were on sale on the Switch during the Christmas sale, and I noticed it. So pretty soon, best old Ys game will be on Switch. What is this Bowser Jr. shit? Oh.
The halfway point.
A great slam and then some. Now go.
Heaven or hell. Duel 1. Fight.
Let's rock.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
It's okay. We haven't played Guilty Gear in like 20 years.
Since I've played Guilty Gear.
I think it's been a long time since anyone's played Guilty Gear.
I was gonna say that's a franchise that's not it's crashed and burned.
That's because like the two companies that are responsible for it like can't agree on who owns the rights to anything, and like the dev went and made Blaze Blue, which is basically Guilty Gear with the serial numbers filed off.
Though X2 or XX or whatever you call it, one of the all-time best video game soundtracks. Like
yeah.
Straight up. I still listen to that as writing music. Blue Water, Blue Sky, Holy Orders. It's all so good. I love that you reminded me of that fucking mini golf course, though. That was so. I just remember looking up, like getting my club ready and looking up and being like, "This is Sunshine Coastline. This is from Black Hermosa of Dana." And my wife and kid being like, "What are you like freaking about? Like, this is video game. Like, okay, it's video game music. No, you don't understand. It's obscure video game music." Like, it's not like, oh, they're playing Mario music in this.
I don't think that
like,
they'd be playing Mario music.
This person has taste.
I don't think that they'd be playing Mario music under fear of lawyer ninjas.
Yeah, no.
I don't think Falcom wouldn't care about, like, you know, a random mini golf course someplace in, what was it, South Carolina or whatever. Just playing like Tennessee. One of their music, Tennessee. Playing one of.
I won't say which one specifically, so they don't get sued. I'm just kidding.
But like, somebody.
The soundtracks are available on Spotify, so I'm sure they were just streaming it from Spotify.
That makes sense. I'm just saying, like, you know, the minute that some kid like uploads a guitar cover of like the Yoshi's Island athletic theme. And then,
yeah,
like the ghost of Satoru Iwata appears behind them. And like, what do you think you're doing? I don't know. I don't think Satoru Iwata would do that.
No, I don't think Iwata.
I think it's more like Shintaro Furukawa, just like projecting himself behind them, saying, "What do you think you're doing?"
I'm legitimately kind of amazed that with how litigious they are, that Nintendo doesn't go after because Nintendo's soundtracks aren't on Spotify.
No, they're on their stupid proprietary shit.
Right, but I'm
being
kind of
drip
surprised
fed
that they
onto it.
don't go after the literal legions of people who cover Nintendo music on Spotify.
To be fair, Nintendo is also simultaneously so out of touch, they probably don't know Spotify exists.
Probably. I mean, there are literally like huge accounts on there, like Arcade Player. It's literally just we just took the midis of all these game soundtracks and like put them in slightly different sound fonts. Like there's so many that I'm like, oh yeah, this does sound exactly like this Nintendo game.
Like
it's weird because sorry, go ahead.
They're only aware enough of what Spotify is to know that they want their own proprietary version to drip feed music onto.
Yes. Like I said, my son is the only person I know who actually uses the proprietary Nintendo music thing. He was very excited that they got the Mario 64 soundtrack the other day, or a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, something that should have been on their day one, but who am I? I'm just a consumer.
Yeah, why wouldn't you have Mario 64 on there? That's insane to me. It's weird because most video game companies have actually gotten really good. Like a couple years ago, they weren't, but now most video game companies are really good about, or Japanese video game companies, I should say, are really good about having their soundtracks on Spotify.
Right.
Like there was a long time where, obviously Western, the soundtracks to like the Elder Scrolls games and like Halo have always been on there. But it's only been like in the last year that like the Persona soundtracks have shown up. All the Silent Hill soundtracks have shown up.
Castlevania.
The Final Fantasy soundtracks, things like that.
I think the Japanese companies, though, it may have taken them a bit to agree to Spotify, primarily because, like, in Japan, CDs and like physical music media are still very popular.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
So
and the proliferation of Japan bonus tracks.
So it's probably they were more expecting people to just buy the CDs.
I know that's the thing. Apparently, I think it's only like a year or two ago Japan stopped requiring that like certain government documents be like handed on floppy disks or something like that. Japan has been like the one country keeping floppy disks alive in the 21st century.
Just picture like somebody. Just like picturing like some like fancy company, and then like a boss like calls in their subordinate like, Johnson, where's the report? And like, I already gave it to you. And like, Johnson, this is a zip disk.
Today's kids will never understand. Today's kids will never understand spending going to college and spending like $25 on a 32 megabyte flash drive.
Do they still have to spend like $15 bajillion on specific books for each course? I don't know. I haven't been to college in like fucking 15 years.
I mean, they did when I had a wonderful grift. I've talked about this before, but I had the best grift ever. I never bought books when I was in college. Clip this part and like make it like a story. I never bought books when I was in college because I worked at Office Max. I worked at the copy center in the Office Max. So what I did was the first day of a class, I would look at the syllabus and see what pages from the books were actually being used on the syllabus that semester.
Mm-hmm.
Then at the end of class, I would find somebody who was in the class and offer them like $20 to borrow their book for the weekend. And of course, any fucking students could do that because it's beer money.
Right.
So I would give them like $10-20. I would take the book with me to work. I would copy all of the pages that were in the syllabus, pay like 7 cents well, I worked there, so it was like 3.5 cents a copy for the pages. So I would copy like 50 pages, would be like $2 for this. And I would do this for all of my classes. I would put them in like a little notebook. And I do like because I worked in the copy shop. We had the hole punch. You know, we could bind them up. I do the hole punch, put them in like a little 3-ring binder notebook, and that's what I would do. Instead of paying like $150 fucking for the books, yeah, I would borrow them from somebody in class for like $10 and then just go make copies at work while I was working.
The Soylent Greg Office Max hustle.
Yes, that's hustle.
Is
baby.
this Daniel's prophecy? Is this what we should be paying attention to?
Pay attention to Daniel's prophecy.
Is this it?
Hey. Oh my God, that's
a deep cut. I'm sorry. That cut too deep.
That is a deep cut. For those who don't know, I used to work in a copy shop, and we used to have a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses who lived in the area, and they had all their like little watchtower books. And one day, I don't remember how it got started, but there was like an older woman who was having trouble turning the pages because they were like these really tightly bound little books that they got from their churches or their missions or whatever. And I would take the slicer and cut the binding off and then punch really tiny holes in the binding in the side of it and put like a spiral notebook binding through it and then seal it off. And this woman liked it so much that she took it back to like her church, and all of the people from the Jehovah's Witness church showed up with their watchtower books to have me do this to them. And yes, one of the books was called Pay Attention to Daniel's Prophecy. It was like one of the first like meme jokes that Patrick and I had.
You wrote a song based on that, didn't you?
I think I might have. But yeah, it would be like.
Is it still up on your? You have a Bandcamp or a SoundCloud or something like that it might be on?
I don't.
I thought you did at one point.
I have so few of those old songs anymore. What was I saying?
Daniel's Prophecy.
Daniel's Prophecy was. Oh yeah, it'd be like, what was your like? We'd hang out like after work. I'd be like, man, I bet you would not believe what I was doing today. Like I cut the spines and bound like 30 copies of Pay Attention to Daniel's Prophecy today. Yeah, that was some wacky stuff. Those were the days. Oh, and it should go without saying that what I was doing was technically illegal.
Yeah,
not the watchtower thing, but
the book thing. We
were supposed to like. I'm just gonna say it because it's been like 15 fucking years.
The statute of limitations. Nobody gives a shit.
You were when you worked at the copy shop, you were supposed to stop people from making copies of copywritten material. I never gave a shit. I'm sorry. I know if somebody came in with like a fucking book or like I don't even like professional photographs or something to like have copied, like I don't give a shit. Like just give it to me. I'll do it. It's fine.
I highly doubt that anyone that you may have worked with at Office Max is going to watch this and be like,
Gives
hey,
a
wait a
solitary
minute.
ship. If they did, they don't give a solitary shit. And literally, even my bosses like don't exist anymore because Office Max got bought by Office Depot. So take that. They're under new ownership.
That's because you were copying the books.
That's exactly right. That's what led them to getting bought. And that's why Circuit City went under.
Because of you.
I actually had a friend. It was really crazy. I had a friend who worked at Circuit City, and then Circuit City went out of business, and then he immediately got a new job working for H.H. Gregg, and then like a year later, H.H. Gregg went out of business, and I was like,
God.
"Can you get like a job at Comcast next?"
I was about to say, maybe we should get this guy a job at GameStop.
I know. Oh man, all the GameStops near me are closed. We just
Good.
went. We took Cooper today to this place called Bricks and Minifigs. It's like a Lego store.
Mhm.
And there is a GameStop, or there was a GameStop next to it, but it actually closed last month.
Good.
There are multiple GameStops near me that have closed. Yeah, no. The last time I went to a GameStop was like at least like between 8 months and a year ago, I would say. And it was just so sad. There were no video games in it. It was all like nerd junk. It was depressing. I went because, yes, the last time I went to a GameStop was to buy, because I could not find a copy of NES Championship. My son wanted a copy of NES Championship. I can't remember if it was for his birthday or what was going on, but he wanted that game, and I could not get it I could not find it at Target and Walmart, so I went to GameStop, and they didn't have it at GameStop. But I remember walking in and just being like, "This is GameStop? Like, this doesn't feel like a video game store at all."
The last time
It's really depressing what's happened to them, but I mean, literally, even during their heyday, I knew, multiple people who worked there, and it sucked to work for even back then. So
yeah.
I'm not like surprised that they're in the situation that they're in now.
I think the last time I went to a GameStop, it was the one in Mechanicsville, near where Kohl's is.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Because I stopped going to the store that I worked at after I stopped working there, and I went to the one at Kohl's because that's where my friend Richard was working. And I went to that store. I picked up a used copy of like Doom 2016 for the Switch or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like after that, I was like, Richard doesn't even work at this store anymore. I don't even know why I should bother going there.
Yeah.
And I never went back into a GameStop.
For me, I mean, it sucks. Like, it legitimately sucks that this is the future, but like I've kind of come to grips with the fact that digital is the future with regards to video games. I'm sure that the Switch 2 will, whenever it comes out, will have cartridges.
Well, yeah, because it's going to be reverse compatible.
But
I have a
it's coming.
I have a theory on the new console.
Oh yeah, you have a theory?
I have a theory. Okay, I mean
Tell me your theory.
So,
I've heard a rumor that they're about to announce it in like 4 days, but we'll see.
The official word is that they're going to announce it in March or something like that. I mean, I don't care because I'm not getting one.
I've heard it's coming out in March, and they're announcing it in like 5 days. You, the viewer, will get to find that out, but I'm probably wrong. It's still not come out in 2026. Sorry, go ahead.
My theory is that the Switch will be called New Switch, and it will basically just be the exact same thing, only with a higher clock speed or something like that, and maybe like a few new games that need the clock speed, but every game that they'll make is still compatible with the old Switch. So it's basically like the new 3DS, just like with the Switch.
So
I don't really think that. I just think that to be funny. But this is you're finally getting your stupid Switch Pro.
Yeah, there was no Switch Pro. That was kind of surprising to me.
There was this. I'm not gonna.
Never got...
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Go ahead. You talk.
I remember not too long after I moved up here and I started getting into Twitch communities. There's this one guy, I'm not gonna name names, who is always, as long as I have been acquainted with him, been a pretentious douchebag. And like he was so goddamn cocksure that the fucking Switch Pro was coming out.
You can say my name. It's okay.
It's not you.
I'm kidding.
He was like, at one point, like he was in a on one of the Discords, he was like in a conversation with someone else and saying like, you know, he's laughing at the people who still don't think the Switch Pro is coming. Guess what? It didn't.
It never did.
It never did. And don't say the Switch OLED was that. All the Switch OLED is it's the AGS 101 of the Switch. It has a better screen, a fancier dock, and that's it. Oh, and a better kickstand.
I say this as someone who has the Switch OLED. There is absolutely no
performance upgrade
in the Switch OLED. There's none. It's literally just the Switch, but with a nicer screen. It's a really nice upgrade, and I'm kind of bummed that I got a Steam Deck before they came out with the OLED Steam Deck, because I would much rather have had that, but, it is what it is. I think it would have been, with the Switch Pro, it was a smart bet. I mean, Nintendo are the kings of, mid-console refreshes. Where their handhelds are concerned anyway.
Yeah.
So the thought that they would have a more powerful Switch at some point in its 8-year life cycle is, the sort of thing I would have thought was obviously going to happen, but did not.
I'm just like, my general rule of thumb with shit like that is rumors are not news.
No.
I know that these experts like Forbes and shit are gonna say, "Oh, this is gonna be a thing that happens," but that unless Nintendo says something, unless it comes from fucking the horse's mouth, I don't believe it.
Yeah, no, and I like to repeat rumors and things because they're fun and exciting.
I mean,
I've been burned too many times. How many times have we seen that? Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Apocalypse remasters are right around the corner.
I don't think I ever have. I mean, I saw there was like a billboard thing that had those games in like SMT5, I think, and like they were going to make an announcement. Yeah, that.
I sent you the thing. It was for game. It was a Game Pass thing. It was like a fake Game Pass ad that somebody made that had the 4 Apocalypse and the 5. Because it made sense, because all the Persona games at that time were on Game Pass, and SMT3 had just come to Game Pass. So it made sense that, they would bring 5 to Game Pass and...
make ports of 4 and 4 Apocalypse.
They would make ports of 4 and 4 Apocalypse, but they never did. Maybe they will.
And, if a rumor turns out to be true, then, then good, it does, I guess. But, like, again, I'm not going to believe it unless, like, the actual company that's responsible for whatever IP or system or whatever says something about it. Once they say something about it, then I'll believe that it's true. But, like, not before then.
I will say Nintendo has lost out just from the length of this console generation.
They've just lost out.
No, I know they're doing amazing. I'm saying they have lost out on a lot of sales from me because I hate that I have to, whenever I see a game that's on sale for the Switch, I can't just buy it. I have to go on YouTube and search for that game, like handheld footage of that game, to see like if it runs acceptably well and looks okay. And
That's
that's
fair.
not something you should ever have to do with a console. There was some game, I cannot remember what it was. It was like a survival horror type game. And it was on sale a while ago, and I almost bought it. And then I looked it up on YouTube, and like, it was a blurry, like sub 30 mess. And I'm like, oh man, like I'm not picking that up.
I mean, granted, like I have, I guess I could say my standards are lower when it comes to that, because like, I don't know. You said that you didn't like Persona 5 on the Switch, and I thought it ran absolutely fine.
It runs fine. It bugs me a bit that Persona 5 the resolution is so low on the Switch in handheld mode. I will say a lot of people complained about Tears of the Kingdom. Um, I get it, but I didn't really have any problem playing Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch. What I did have problems playing was Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah, you told me about that. I haven't.
That was the first game I ever played on the Switch, and that's the reason why I now go on YouTube before I buy any Switch game. That I started playing it after paying $60 for it, and was like, "Oh, this is not acceptable. Like I cannot play the game like this. Like there is."
Oh shit.
It looks like someone has smeared Vaseline all over it, and it's running at like 20 frames per second whenever I am like looking at anything more complicated than sand.
I mean, I still haven't tried Vengeance yet.
I ended up getting Vengeance on the Steam Deck, and it runs beautifully. So that's one of the games is on my list of things to actually beat this year.
Yeah. I only picked up Vengeance because I saw that the Steelbook edition was on sale for like $20 or something like that. I'm like, I'll buy it at that price. I haven't, because I had the digital version of the first version of it, and I never touched it. And I'm like, I mean, at first I was like, I'm not going to get Vengeance if I already have the first one. But I'm like, oh, well, if this is selling poorly enough for it to be on sale this early, I'll buy it.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. I don't know if Vengeance runs any better than the original one on the Switch. I will say I have not bought Metaphor, and one of the reasons I have not bought Metaphor is that I feel like I have been burned so many times now by Atlas, specifically, putting out a video game and then putting out an expanded version of that video game like 2 years later.
Was it even 2 years for Shin Megami Tensei 5?
I don't know. I feel like 2 was about how long it was for Persona 5 Royal.
That
was a game that I like pre-ordered, and then before I'd even beaten it, they had the Royal edition, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I think that I never really got into Shin Megami Tensei 5 yet, but like I feel like the turnaround between the original version and Vengeance was a lot shorter. It was a bit shorter than 2 years.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a bit of... I feel like it probably was, and I feel like that's a bit of a special case, because the original wasn't like...
Well, the original was
a big it wasn't a big multi-platform release, so Vengeance
was the multi-platform release.
Vengeance was the first way that most people got to play Shin Megami Tensei 5. Like, if you have an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Steam Deck, like, that was your first chance to play SMT5.
Right. Our PS...
Oh, I meant to go get Wind and Truth and bring it down here to show you.
Oh.
I was gonna say, I have not updated, I've updated Game Clear this year. I've not updated Book Clear. And that's because I'm reading the 5th Stormlight Archive novel, which I got for Christmas, by Brandon Sanderson. And I wish I'd brought that book down here as a visual aid, because that book is huge. That book is like 1,200 pages long.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to be with that for a while. Yeah, this is not the last Stormlight Archive novel. The Stormlight Archive is projected to be a 10-book series. Um, but Sanderson has said that it's basically in 2 5-book arcs because all of his works are interconnected, and there's basically going to be stuff that happens in between Arc 1 and Arc 2 of the Stormlight Archive. So this is kind of the end of that 5-book arc.
Gotcha.
And it's big. I'm like 40% of the way through it right now, so.
It's something I've been thinking about, because I know you're mainly the one that uses the Book Clear channel on Discord,
Yeah.
which nobody who's watching this has access to.
Yet everybody anybody watching is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Patrick and I have 2 channels in the official Discord. One is where we post when we beat a video game, and the other one we post when we finish a book.
I finished,
and 90% of the time it's
more than 90% of the time. The only book I have cleared in there is House of Leaves.
Hey, House of Leaves is a good book. So.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I liked it a lot, but that's the only book I have in there because I barely read. I was just thinking, like, would manga count? Because I bought like the first 3 volumes of Blame a little while ago.
Counts. I would say so. I have definitely. I don't know if I've done it in the Discord, but on just like my list of books that I've read each year, I've definitely counted like Junji Ito.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
As like a book. So I would count manga.
Because otherwise, like the next book that I would put on there is whenever Kikoski's second novel is published.
I need to knock that out at some point.
Errant Hope is very good, I think. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I bought that. Yes, you told me about that, and I purchased it. I haven't read it yet, sorry, but I did purchase it. So I supported your friend by buying it. I bought it on the Kindle.
Yeah, if it weren't for Kikoski, you wouldn't be watching us right now. He was one of my I've been watching him doing Let's Plays for over 15 years now, probably.
Oh yeah.
He was one of my original inspirations for starting to do YouTube. And he released the first in a series of novels a couple of years back called Errant Hope. And it's a fantasy novel. It's very good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
And I write novels as well, but we won't talk about any of those.
No, we won't talk about any of those.
Well, I primarily, the last couple of years, I am primarily a ghostwriter. So.
Not like the one you see on public television.
No, not that one. I write romance novels for people. Well, not just romance novels. The single, I can't talk too much about it.
You probably have like an NDA.
I have literally signed NDAs in my career. I will say, because I'm allowed to say this, the most successful thing I have ever written is actually something that nobody would expect with my pedigree. It is a young adult fantasy series that I wrote a few years back. And that, by an order of magnitude, I wrote that for someone else, and that, by an order of magnitude, is the most popular thing I have ever written. It is the only thing I think that a random person might actually recognize, but yeah, like I said, can't talk too much about it.
Right.
I mostly write smut. And that's actually one of my goals for this year, is to get back into writing my own stuff. It's really difficult when you literally do it for a living to also do it for yourself. But that's something I gotta work on. Being more productive than I already am.
I remembered that you can shrink in the plane.
Yes, you shrink, and I think you move a little bit faster. That was good. You got really close there.
Right. Now that I've unlocked my true potential.
Now that I'm actually, it was my brother. It was my brother holding the controller.
The sun was in my eye. The sun in my eyes stopped me from remembering that I could hold X to shrink.
Wait, this isn't Bowser's Big Bean Burrito. Are you speaking of memes? Are you familiar with this thing with the pigs and the brother? May I have some oats?
Yes, I am familiar with that.
Okay, my son is really into the brother. May I have some oats thing? We've been doing that a lot with each other lately.
I've seen the May I Have Some Oats one. I've also the one I've seen the most lately is May I Have Some Loops. And it's
I haven't seen that one.
It's the cat. Because the original meme is like a very rotund cat looking at somebody who's holding a bowl of Fruit Loops and says, "Slaps tummy, brother, it hold many loop." And then somebody did like a whole "Brother, may I have some loops?" Or "Brother, may I have some oats?" Monologue with that. And I don't know if it was the same guy who did the oats one, but like if it was the same like guy who did the voiceover.
My wife is very irritated by how much we do this, primarily because she actually has gotten in the habit. My wife is very healthy and has lost a lot of weight, and she has gotten in the habit of eating steel-cut oats for breakfast.
Oh no!
So yeah, there's a lot of brother.
May I have some oats?
No, brother. Yeah, so that's a lot of insanity. All right, there he goes. You got the super, yeah. Smack his ass. I keep forgetting you aren't even on the last phase.
Right.
I'm sure there's one more after this, right?
Yeah, there's another goalpost right after where I am.
Yeah. It's if I remember correctly, it's both of them. Oh yeah,
went right into
when
that.
happens, I just want to start it over again.
I don't.
Cuphead does sort of have the Gradius problem a little bit, where like when something like that happens, it's like just kill me and start over.
I don't feel like going into the menu though. I think that's what's stopping me from just starting over.
Fair enough.
I think it's still possible that I can do this with like one less hit point than I normally would have from making dumb mistakes. It fit many loop, brother.
Oh wow, we got like one. We got one thing of feathers out. Oh, I was so sure you were gonna parry that.
I thought I was gonna parry that.
Well, you know, it's like Phineas and Ferb said. Everything's better with parry.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad that this game doesn't eat inputs or anything like that, because I don't want to have to like hit the B button or something and be like, hey, where's parry?
Oh my god. My kid has some Phineas and Ferb game. I can't remember if it's for the DS or the GBA.
Is it across the second dimension?
I could not tell you.
I had that for the DS when it was new. My friend Richard and I, same Richard I was talking about before, we used to work at the same GameStop store. When the first like Phineas and Ferb like movie special Across the Second Dimension or whatever was coming out. They had
Mhm.
tie-in games, and there was like a console version and a DS version. And Richard and I liked Phineas and Ferb, so Richard got the console version, I got the DS version, and the console version was multiplayer. So we actually watched the movie, and then we played the game.
Like Van Helsing.
Yeah, except both the movie and the game were good. So
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad because I had like a manager back when I worked at Capital One who was super into Phineas and Ferb, and I like wasn't into it at all when it was popular.
fair.
And then I had a kid who got into it, and now I understand how awesome it is. Oh, I'm like, shit.
All right, last phase.
Last phase.
I shouldn't have gone right for it. Okay.
That's the last phase.
Yep.
I was wrong. It's not both of them.
It's just he's in the
injured,
stretcher.
He's on the stretcher. Yeah, you need to stay like low to shoot him in the stretcher. It's annoying.
I think you can shoot the heart when he coughs it up.
I think you can shoot the heart too. Man, that would make Slay the Spire a lot easier if you could just shoot the heart.
Sweep the leg.
The heart is the final boss in Slay the Spire.
Okay.
It would be much easier if you could just pull out a gun and shoot it at the end instead of playing
Where's
your
Perry?
deck against it.
Here's a real high-class bout. It's on.
We are the YouTube channel without a cool name.
It's just the Captain Floofers channel.
If you like don't clear this by the end of the night,
It's fine.
you can just say that you had a platypus controlling you. You don't quite understand, but you have records on your fingers and you got glue on your hands. And you just can't stop. Don't stop. You got a platypus controlling you. What? You got a platypus controlling you. And you would if you were able, but the platypus controlling you is underneath the table. Oh wait, no, he's gone. There's no platypus controlling you. There's no platypus controlling you. Oh, you know, speaking of... there's the callback. You know what else is on Spotify? The Phineas and Ferb soundtracks. Oh, don't I know it.
Let me guess. Cooper listens to that.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad that we have a family plan now for Spotify. All of us are on the same music streaming service.
Oh,
Because
gotta
it
push
used
that.
to be just me, so my recommendations would be completely insane. Because it would be like, here's death metal, here's Alkaline Trio, here's the Phineas and Ferb soundtrack.
Like, I have like a... I don't really listen to recommended stuff. I just like add stuff to my liked songs and listen to that. But like I have like a few like bands that have like most of the music, and then just like an eclectic bunch of other things. So like there's like a lot of Rush, there's a lot of Yes, there's a lot of Styx, there's a lot of Judas Priest, a lot of ELO, and then like
Oh, hell yeah.
Stuff from the Persona soundtrack here and there. There's Tarzan Boy by Baltimora. There's Police Truck by the Dead Kennedys. There's
Yeah, I have a billion playlists and like a bunch of different writing music playlists that are mostly different video game soundtracks. And yes, a lot of rush and a lot of the darkest of the hillside thickets. And this is a tough one. A lot of different little phases to this one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 4 checkpoint things, so that means there's like 5 different phases, right?
Kinda. Like, it's not hard to figure it out, it's just... Sometimes I make stupid decisions in movement.
It's okay, Cuphead. You go when you feel like it.
But I remember this being one of the ones that took me a little while to, It's pretty much like all the ones that I beat on... that I finished on the second island, where they all kind of took me a little while to really get into the groove and see it all the way through.
I'm trying to think who took me the longest. What boss took me the longest in Cuphead? It probably is that fucking dragon, honestly.
I think the dragon was the last one I tried before I started trying them on easy mode. And then just like, then I did stopped playing until we started playing for this again, or started playing for the channel.
I did not have as much problems with... Everybody says Dr. Call's Robot is the hardest one, but I did not have a lot of problems with Dr. Call's Robot. I had a ton of problems with the dragon. Obviously, the devil is pretty tough, but not like the toughest. Yeah, I honestly think the fucking dragon probably gave me the most trouble of anything.
A brawl is surely brewing. Here goes.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember what most of like the late game bosses were. I know there's like a train that you fight, but I remember the train being really fun, even though it was hard. So I didn't mind that one.
Honestly, that's the way I feel about like most, if not all, of the bosses I fought. Is that they're all really hard, but they're still fun.
The ending, I'm spoiling everything for you. Like the ending run up to the last boss, the like roulette wheel or the craps table thing that you have to navigate, is really a pain in the ass.
It's like I'll get mad at games sometimes, but like this is one of those times where this is like one of those games where like I don't get mad at it.
No.
Because like even obviously I've lost like 50 million times in a row here, but like it doesn't ever feel unfair. Like it's not. I don't feel like there's like any eaten inputs or
right.
This thing came out of nowhere or anything like that.
There's none of the Dark Souls like later Dark Souls games more. None of that like, oh, that hitbox was bullshit. That shouldn't have hit me.
Right.
What the fuck? That bugged me a lot in Elden Ring.
Is that what I have to look forward to when I play Bloodborne? I'm not gonna get to Bloodborne for a while, but like when I do get to Bloodborne,
Bloodborne is definitely my favorite. I'm curious how you'll do with Bloodborne, because I feel like for me 100% Bloodborne was the hardest one when I first started it. But a big part of that was not understanding that Bloodborne is different from the Souls games and trying to play Bloodborne like it was a Souls game.
Like the closest game that I've played to something like that has been Stranger of Paradise, which is the Final Fantasy one. That was made by the devs that did Neo. So it's basically like Final Fantasy Neo is what it was, from what I've been made to understand. But that's like the only that's like the closest I've gotten to playing like a Souls game was that game.
Okay.
So I don't really know 100% what to expect when it comes to like Souls likes, like the actual like From Software ones. Because I mean, I got Bloodborne. The only reason I really have Bloodborne is because it was on sale for like $5, I think, on the PlayStation Store, and that's why I have it. But like, I've been like increasingly interested in trying King's Knight, which is like Dark Souls, the Dark Souls that From Software made before Dark Souls or Demon Souls was a thing. Kingsfield. Did I say King's Quest?
You said King's Knight.
King's Knight. No.
And I was like, what is King's Knight?
Oh, King's Knight. King's Knight is a completely different game that's bad.
Okay.
It's one of those NES games that SquareSoft made before they made Final Fantasy, and was one of the reasons they were going out of business.
Oh, okay. The only one of the like old FromSoft games I have played is Shadow Tower, because it was on the Vita as like a PS1 classic or whatever, like those like $10 PS1 classics. So I bought it because it's From Software. I'm like, let me try it, and I did not have a good time playing Shadow Tower. So I don't know that the whole first person From Software game, like old school thing, is for me.
If anything, with Kingsfield, it was I primarily like it because of the aesthetic and everything. Because I watched a streamer play it a couple of years back. Hungry Gorilla was the streamer, and she played it over the course of like a few months, I think. But I really enjoyed watching it, and I really liked the presentation and the aesthetic and everything. And then later, when I was actually watching a Kingsfield retrospective that Majuler did on YouTube, he does a lot of like long form retrospective things and reviews. I found out Kingsfield was actually the first game From Software made.
Really? I didn't know that.
At least the original
I would have assumed
the original Japanese only Kingsfield.
I would have assumed it was Armored Core.
No.
Like the original Armored Core.
No, Kingsfield predates Armored Core. But the Kingsfield that we have over here, the first Kingsfield we have over here is actually Kingsfield 2. And they had like a whole like Final Fantasy kind of sequel number thing going on.
It still has the Moonlight Greatsword, right?
Yes, that's where it came from.
That's in all the.
That's all in all the Kingsfield games, yeah.
All the FromSoft games have the Moonlight Greatsword in them somewhere.
Even Armored Core, from what I understand.
Yes, it does. I've actually never played any of the Armored Core games, but I do know that about them. It has a version of it in there.
My brother's played quite a few of the Armored Core games. I got him the newest one for Christmas last year.
Nice.
And he seems to enjoy it.
I thought about picking that up this Christmas in the Steam sale of getting the Armored Core, but I ended up not doing it. Oof.
Now the pill got me.
Yep, Dr. Mario. I would say, like, you might bounce off of it, but who knows? I 100% bounced off Dark Souls the first time I played it. I didn't actually get into Dark Souls until Dark Souls 2. I played the first one, a little bit of it, and I just could not get into it at all.
Yeah.
When I first tried it, I didn't get it. It was like needlessly punishing, and then I had just gotten a gaming PC. I was in college. It wasn't like a gaming PC, but I bought a computer and I got like a graphics card and installed it. And I remember I was like looking for something to buy to like try out the graphics card. And Dark Souls 2 came out. And I was like, I'll give it a shot. And then like I played 2 and just like fell in love with the series. Like I don't know why, but when I played 2, it like finally clicked for me. And 2 isn't even like my favorite one. But
Isn't 2 like the most polarizing one, from what I've been understand?
yeah, two is the one that most people rank at the bottom. I don't. I like 2 a lot more than most people do. It is different. Most people point to the fact that Miyazaki was not the like director of Dark Souls 2 because he was working on Bloodborne at the time. But that it was made by FromSoft's B team or whatever. I think it's a good game. It's a great game. It has a couple of quirks that make it different from the other Souls games, but it is also probably the most fun. Maybe Elden Ring. If not Elden Ring, then it is certainly the most fun one to do co-op. To like help other people beat bosses to Sunbro. Because there's a whole covenant based around it, and that game actually had a completely different co-op thing where you could help someone. Instead of helping them with a boss, you could just be summoned into the world for a limited time, and once you help them kill a certain number of enemies, you would be sent back to your own world, but you would get all of your healing items renewed, and you would get a bunch of souls. So I used to do that all the time. There's nothing quite like starting a new Soulsborne game and helping and camping in front of the boss once you figure him out for like a couple of hours and getting several million souls helping people because the game has just come out, so there are tens of thousands of people trying to beat the boss, and you get literally summoned every 5 seconds. It's very fun. I honestly think that's why I liked, why I enjoyed Death Stranding so much.
Death Stranding was also very polarizing, wasn't it?
Yeah. But Death Stranding was also, like, if you like sunburrowing in Dark Souls, you will probably like helping other people build roads and, zip lines and transportation shit in Death Stranding. I do think it's completely insane, Kojima's powers of prophecy, because, I mean, Death Stranding came out in 2019 and is basically about being an Instacart worker during the pandemic.
Oh no, Death Stranding 2 is coming out.
Oh no!
Shit.
Oh no, shit.
Alright, I think we're gonna give it one more try,
Okay.
and then we'll come back to it next time if I don't get him this time.
I'm not going to... Are there... I will say, before I say this, are there any games in 2025 that you are looking forward to?
The HD 2D remake of Dragon Warrior 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah!
I also I pre-ordered the the collector's edition for off. Oh, also Monster Hunter Wild's gonna be playing that when that comes out.
Oh yeah, Monster Hunter.
But those are the
so
only
there
ones.
are some games you're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. There's nothing like that's really been announced that I'm super like. Oh, I've got to have that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say like. I'm definitely not gonna say. Oh, I'm not gonna buy any video games in 2025 because that's a fucking lie.
Right.
And I'm sure there will be something like Balatro that comes out that just blows everybody away.
Yeah. I think it's funny how much Balatro blew up since the Game Awards. Because like it got snubbed Game of the Year basically. And then like right after that, like Markiplier started playing it, and then like everyone started playing it after that. And I'm really glad that it's gotten so much more of a reach now.
Oh yeah,
more
it's
people
a great
are.
game. Oh, I'm such a dumbass. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, that was my thought.
Oh, there is one game I'm looking forward to in 2025.
What was that?
Slay the Spire 2. I completely forgot.
All right.
I am 100%. I am looking forward to Slay the Spire 2 in 2025. Are you gonna try the genie or are you done?
No, it's like 10 o'clock, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it, and then we'll try Bird Guy again next time, and see if we get to genie after him. But until then, I've been Captain Floofers.
And I'm Soylent Greg.
And we'll be here next time. Join us, won't you?